Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! The energy Kylie Cantrall brought to the Worlds Collide Tour this summer was absolutely incredible, off the charts, and it blows my mind how Kylie Cantrall was just so full of energy every single time she stepped out onto that stage, and never failing to admit to each and every one of you that a dream can happen for each and every single person who was in attendance at the Worlds Collide Tour, who showed up with an undeniable amount of love and support for Kylie Cantrall, putting Kylie Cantrall in the position to take on the world. 20 years from now, I predict Kylie Cantrall is going to be one of the biggest stars in the world if she hasn't already amounted to that, and it's because of each and every one of you. No matter if you remember Kylie Cantrall for all her roles on Disney Channel, or being the revered character Red in the Rise of Red franchise, or just Kylie Cantrall, the actress and the singer, I think Kylie Cantrall is going to be one of the biggest stars in the world, and I think I can get away with saying that for all the success and all the accolades she's already achieved. Gabby Dern in The Unsittables, High School Musical, the series, Berserk, so many beautiful roles that Kylie Cantrall has ascended to ever before donning the character Red. Descendants was just icing on the cake, because this was a character that ultimately became one of the most revered in the entire Descendants franchise, who had such a passion for the Descendants franchise and who really brought it to life and never ceased to amaze millions of people who were captivated by a franchise. At the Worlds Collide Tour, something that really stood out to me about Kylie Cantrall's performance was that she was so appreciative to be lost in every single moment she had the opportunity to be lost in it with each and every single one of you. You showed up with your glitter signs, your beautiful outfits, and you showed out of love and support for Kylie Cantrall, and that's something Kylie Cantrall is never ever going to forget. Her EP with songs like Goodie Bag, Denim, and See You Tonight on it has skyrocketed to superstardom, has sold millions of copies, and Kylie Cantrall has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. Really is a testament to how far Kylie Cantrall has come. Because this was a girl who was a huge fan of some of my favorite TV shows growing up, like Victorious and Sam and Cat, that I could never say enough good things about, back in 2010. And that wasn't yesterday. That was before many of you were even born, that I was a fan of Victorious and iCarly. So that really brought back a lot of fond memories that Kylie Cantrall triggered for me. Watching her YouTube show Hello Kylie from back in the day, that was when YouTube first premiered, when Kylie Cantrall wanted to be a superstar more than anything else in this life, and her family was incredibly supportive of her and her YouTube channel and all of her dreams. This is why Kylie Cantrall is one of the most revered Descendants characters of all time, and on her way to becoming a mega superstar, which I'm incredibly excited about. I look forward to covering every single moment of Kylie Cantrall's what's going to be legendary career, because I know you can always talk about in conversation Taylor Swift's rapid ascension to superstardom because of her self-titled album success because of Tim McGraw, and songs like Our Song, which became everybody's song years later. I remember how Taylor Swift came out with a song like Tim McGraw, and it was so popular, and then from out of nowhere she comes out with a song called Our Song, which eventually became everybody's song. And I remember being a DJ years ago, and how many requests would come in for that song, and being a radio show host ever before I was a YouTuber, and that song was discussed as being everybody's song. But I think that songs of the Descendants soundtrack that have been inspired by Kylie Cantrall's voice and brought to life because of Kylie Cantrall's voice has become everybody's song of this generation. Songs such as If Only, Space Between, which was a beautiful ballad between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, and then years later we see Kylie Cantrall, Ruby Rose Turner lighting up the Descendants franchise with the soundtrack becoming so revered. I know the soundtrack only had 8 songs on it, but it was because of Kylie Cantrall's voice and Ruby Rose Turner lending her voice to the song Life is Sweeter When You Are eventually. Kylie Cantrall and Leomani Segura will be giving that honor, donning their voices to the soundtrack of Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland coming out with a reported remix of Life is Sweeter When You Are in the works, which is something I'm really looking forward to. But I think everybody felt inspired by Kylie Cantrall. Her sense of fashion, her pride for music, always wanting to be a professional dancer, growing up in a dance home, really helped Kylie Cantrall. I can't ever say that I had the opportunity to grow up in a dance home. I just started up a YouTube channel out of my parents' basement many years ago, and a radio show ever before that. That was very poorly financed. Never thought it was going to amount to anything. It's very honorable to have a family that's very supportive of you like Kylie Cantrall had. But I wish years ago that I could have had the honor of talking about Kylie Cantrall. Because back in the 1990s, we had bands like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys making a name for themselves, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera's constant battle for the #1 position in superiority. I remember covering it all. But I wish years ago I could have had the honor of talking about Kylie Cantrall and Miley Cyrus and Dove Cameron, for for how popular of superstars they are now. Because I think about how popular they are now and how many people are subscribing to my YouTube channel because of it, and how many people would have subscribed years ago if I would have had the honor to talk about it, and how many subscribers this YouTube channel would have amounted to now. It's truly unbelievable how popular these stars are. But I can say with 100% confidence that Disney will never ever have stars quite like this ever again for how popular they've become. Because in this generation, Disney stars are prided on passion, are prided on dedication. They're not just showing up for the opportunity and taking full advantage of it. They have a certain pride and the dedication that goes with that. And Kylie Cantrall has been the exemplification of that ever since day one. From the very first time we saw her on shows like Gabby Dern and the Unsittables, Raven's Home, Bizaardvark, the list goes on. I hope I didn't forget anything. High School Musical, the series. I was a big fan of everything Kylie Cantrall did and reviewed. I was one of the first guys to ever watch Kylie Cantrall's YouTube channel when she was reviewing shows like Sam and Cat. And let me tell you guys something. I was a big fan of Sam and Cat years ago. 35 episodes, I saw every single one of them. And I said nothing but good things about Sam and Cat in all of my reviews. And Kylie Cantrall did the same. So our hearts pretty much were alike. Because we saw the passion and the potential in stars like Ariana Grande and Jeanette McCurdy, who became some of the biggest stars in the world because of the support from yours truly and Kylie Cantrall. I just want to say this. Kylie Cantrall deserved way more opportunities than she ever got. And she deserved far more credit than she was ever given. I think the portrayal of the Red character was beautifully done by Kylie Cantrall. And it became a character that was so revered because of the message of power, acceptance, and how one could find true love, even if it takes you forever. Because the ultimate mission behind Descendants in Red was to achieve something far greater than what her mother, the Queen of Hearts, played by Rita Ora, ever wanted her to amount to. And she had the opportunity to do that, even if it meant going back and meddling with the fabric of time, which we're going to see the consequences played out by the time Descendants 5 Book Wonderland happens. But Kylie Cantrall's success did not just happen because of Descendants. Kylie Cantrall's success happened because of each and every one of you. Where do you think those 500,000 subscribers came for Kylie Cantrall's YouTube channel in less than a year, plus the 500,000 views that she accumulated? Having 500,000 views and 500,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel is just a mere dream of mine. I don't think it'll ever get to that point, but who knows? With all the reviews I'm posting about Freya Sky earlier and now Kylie Cantrall just hours later, it is truly unbelievable how popular these stars have become, which is why I think about how popular people like Hannah Montana and Selena Gomez were years ago. And if I could have created videos about this in 4K years ago, I'd probably have thousands of subscribers because of how popular these stars were. But I think no stars are as popular as what the stars of Descendants and Zombies became, for how the message of acceptance and how one could find true love were really put on display from whatever roles you remember Kylie Cantrall, Freya Sky, and so on being a part of. I, for one, will never ever forget the profound impact the Stars of the Worlds Collide Tour had on my heart, and how much of a chance they presented to me to broaden my horizons and introduce myself to a global audience that I didn't even know was going to love me or not. The thing was about the Descendants and Zombies fans, where they were incredibly supportive of me from the very first video that was ever uploaded. And I say this because I've commentated on a lot of different niches over the years that didn't accept the opinions that I had, or didn't really ever accept me. But the Descendants and Zombies universe has loved me from the very first video that's been uploaded. My opinions on Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky showcased in them, and I have each and every one of you to thank for that. Because when you could have liked or subscribed to anybody else's videos on YouTube, you didn't. You stayed here. And it remained to be true because some of the very first subscribers that I ever put up on this YouTube channel are still here with me. And that is a true honor. So because it's a true honor, I want to showcase these stars for their true worth. Should Kylie Cantrall be crying herself to sleep every night because her opinions about political point of view have been misinterpreted or taken out of context? Or should she be crying herself to sleep because she couldn't make sense of her relationship and how it turned out? I don't think so. I think what Kylie Cantrall should be doing is focusing on her career and focusing on each and every one of you, along with prioritizing each and every one of you and what you want to see Kylie Cantrall get the most out of. Because of that undeniable love and that passion that you showed up with for the Worlds Collide Tour this summer, you really brought it to life. And you showcased such energy with such passion that gave Kylie Cantrall incentive to perform to the best of her ability. And every single night on the Worlds Collide Tour stage, she really showed up and she was really on point. the most beautiful performances came because of Kylie Cantrall, and I can't forget about Freya Sky and her undeniable passion that she too brought to the stage. I wish more of an opportunity would have been seen for Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky to perform duets together, apart from being a part of the whole cast when they did, of course, the Worlds Collide Tour dance number, what have you, in the conclusion of the tour, because I think that their beautiful talents definitely should be put on display more, and more opportunities should be given to them. I've often said how Kylie Cantrall really reminds me of a live-action Jasmine or a live-action Little Mermaid, and how Freya Sky could also be in the conversation for playing the live-action Rapunzel for the Tangled remake, which is up and coming from Disney. Now, reportedly, the live-action Tangled has been put on hold because of Snow White's recent flop in the box office, and I can see why, with Renee Zellweger's opinions being taken out of context or what have you. But I think that because of the flop in the box office, that shouldn't have put Tangled on a reported hold. I think that more opportunities should be considered for people like Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky because of how beautiful they are and how much of an inspiration they've been to so many wonderful people from all walks of life. Because I think there's a real cultural diversity with Descendants and Zombies fans that have really stood out and stood the test of time. Because it's not just one culture or one age demographic that Descendants touches the hearts of. It's so many different age demographics and so much of a cultural diversity that is represented through Descendants and Zombies because it's such a passion. It's a passion that exists in all of our hearts, and it's something that will last forever and always. If there ever was a franchise that will stand the test of time and has even the slightest chance of existing for forever, it's Descendants and Zombies. And again, it goes back to each and every one of you. Kylie Cantrall is as popular as what she is and sells as much merch and albums and singles because of each and every one of you. Descendants is so revered because of each and every one of you. With over 600,000 people on YouTube subscribing to Descendants and Zombies content every single day and night, it just goes to show how far of a reach, how much of an incredible reach Descendants and Zombies has. And I think there is so much potential that exists inside of Kylie Cantrall's heart that it's truly undeniable. And anybody else that can never admit to that on their YouTube channels should really take a step back and really put people like Kylie Cantrall into perspective. Because she had the support, she showed the dedication, and she showed how much she wanted it. Because a lot of people would have turned down the role of Red because of Disney's pressure, and would have felt really pressured to be in this position to take over the way Kylie Cantrall did. But the thing was about Kylie Cantrall was that she just wanted it, and she showcased that passion from the opening dance number of the Descendants Rise of Red movie, Red, bringing that character to life and really putting an emphasis on just how Red was going to represent and carry on the legacy and the lineage of the Descendants franchise after Duff Cameron and Sophia Carson had never officially passed the torch to her, I guess unofficially passed the torch to her. She really made the most of this opportunity. And while the original Descendants trilogy focused on relationships and love and passion, Descendants The Rise of Red, that franchise, focused on how two people formed a strong bond and became inseparable and reached a mutual understanding of what they each wanted to get out of life and became the best of friends, not only on the set of Descendants, but off the set of Descendants. Something I think a lot of critics tend to forget about Kylie Cantrall is how undeniably sweet she is, and how she's remained friends with people for all of her life. She's been friends with Ruby, my all-time favorite Descendants character because of her portrayal of Bridget, and my all-time favorite person in the world ever since the age of 9, when they could only dream of being a part of the Descendants franchise. And that was really an opportunity to create magic from the very first moment that, of course, Ruby Rose Turner and Kylie Cantrall met, years later creating magic for a franchise such as Descendants. That's an honor that only many of us can dream of ever having. And I think forever and always that will be held in our hearts, the friendships between Kylie Cantrall, Ruby Rose Turner, and Malia Baker. I've often seen photos or photo shoots of the three of them together, and I really love seeing them have fun because I can never say enough good things about this friendship and never put enough emphasis on how much of a display it should be put on and remain on for forever and always. I think that this friendship is something that's really going to stand the test of time. You know, come to think of it, in all my years of being a Disney fan, I've never heard about a friendship have so much emphasis on it as the friendship between Kylie Cantrall, Malia Baker, and Ruby Rose Turner. You know, you can always talk about Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment's friendship, but really was that a friendship ever to begin with, or was that more of an opportunity? Because they were never really the best of friends. There were times when they couldn't stand each other. They couldn't stand to be in each other's presence, and it was only halfway through the production of the Hannah Montana movie they hit it off as friends. And they remained friends long enough to finish up Hannah Montana so it would see its grand finale and its send-off. But if you notice, every single time that there's a chance of a Hannah Montana reunion pops up in the conversation, Miley Cyrus and Emily Osment both turn down the idea, obviously because they don't want to work with each other anymore. And if anything is done with the Hannah Montana reboot, it'll be a Hannah Montana concert reunion where probably Miley Cyrus will perform by herself and do the whole solo thing. Because the cast of Hannah Montana had, different understandings of themselves and what they wanted to get the most out of life. I think years from now, if ever, presented in the conversation of a Descendants or Zombies reunion, I think that will ever happen before a Hannah Montana or anything else along those lines ever happens, because of the passion that existed in the heart of someone like Kylie Cantrall. Because if there ever was somebody who brought this franchise to life in so many magical ways, it was Kylie Cantrall. Either through the opportunity to sing songs like Red and Fight of Our Lives with Malia Baker, which was a beautiful duet, or by singing songs from her EP, Goodie Bag, Denim, and See You Tonight. Every single morning at around 6:30 a.m., Kylie Cantrall has something posted on her Facebook fan page. Because she has so much gratitude for fans, she wants to keep you guys in that informative loop, saying, hey, don't forget to forget about me. The thing is, Kylie Cantrall just wants to be in your guys' lives for forever and always. While Dove Cameron kind of just shied away from her Disney past, trying to desperately leave it behind her, Kylie Cantrall always says, hey guys, don't forget to remember me. And that's kind of really cool. And this just shows how much love means to Kylie Cantrall. When you say, don't forget to, remember me, that's a beautiful way of really putting it out there, how much of your fans mean to each and every one of you. I know sometimes people have mixed reactions about how Kylie Cantrall is referred to her fans as cuties, but I think that's Kylie Cantrall's way of showing you the ultimate act of respect for how far you've taken her in this life. Because when you could have turned away from Kylie Cantrall, you had an outpouring of love and support coming from your heart. And that's why Kylie Cantrall is in the undeniable position she is to take over. Mark my words, guys. 20 years from now, she's going to be something special. And I think we can never show her enough love and support to get her to that position to really take over. I think that I can have 1,000 conversations with people like Kylie Cantrall, Malia Baker, and even Meg Donnelly, because I really do believe that they have something special in their hearts, and all they've ever wanted to do is share it with us. And I don't think it has anything to do with being in front of the camera. I think with them, what you see is what you get. Especially with Kylie Cantrall, what you see is what you get. Because I think every opportunity she's had to do everything with a smile and do it with such passion, she's taken full advantage of those opportunities. And it really means so much to me when I have the opportunity to sit on this podcast in front of this microphone every day of my life and talk about Kylie Cantrall, Freya Sky, Malia Baker, Ruby Rose Turner with such passion. Earlier today I was seeing some photos of a photo shoot that Ruby Rose Turner, Kylie Cantrall, and Malia Baker had done together. And one thing I noticed about the photo shoot was they were so happy to be in each other's presence. And that was so cool. Because oftentimes people would just do a photo shoot for the sake of doing a photo shoot and getting paid and getting the publicity. But they do it with such passion and just because they love having fun. Or either that or they shoot a video for TikTok where they're in a cafeteria, and I know they're really limited to what they can say and what they can reveal. Disney always has a list of here's what you can do, what you can't. But they take full advantage of going live with each and every one of you, keeping you again in what I always refer to as the informative loop. I wish more celebrities would learn from people like Kylie and Ruby and Malia because of their beautiful friendship. I think all of our lives we wish we could have one good friend that we could tell everything to. We could keep each other's secrets, and I know that a lot of people out there do have that, but I think everybody wishes they could get to that pivotal point where they could have one good friend in their lifetime, like Kylie and Ruby, or Kylie, Ruby, and Malia, that trio that I can never seem to get out of my mind. That's why I've always and forever said that the Descendants soundtrack is the best soundtrack of any Descendants franchise, past or present. The Rise of Red franchise had a beautiful soundtrack. I know it was only contemplated with 8 songs, but it was so beautifully done. Everything from Life is Sweeter When You Are, Red, Fight of Our Lives, just, a very, really upbeat vibe was presented because of this soundtrack. And I think never enough good things can be said about it because of people like Kylie Cantrall, because of people like Ruby Rose Turner. And this is why I'm really going to miss Ruby being a part of the Descendants franchise, because of how much she offered to the franchise, how she put so much emphasis on how much further kindness can be spread in this lifetime. Because I think never enough kindness can be shown to somebody. I think never enough emphasis can be put on kindness, and you yourself can be a kinder person to every single person in your life every single time the opportunity presents itself, which is something you should take full advantage of. I think if we've ever learned anything from the Descendant stars is that we need to be kinder to people, and we need to spread more of a message of kindness, and we need to be friends with each other for really forever. I know forever sounds like a really long time, but that's what Descendants of Zombies has always encouraged us, or at least offered us encouragement to try to make a more consistent effort to do, especially zombies, because of Zed and Addison's friendship and eventually love interests meant so much to the franchise. This really has been the greatest honor of my life, to be able to put together all these videos about Descendants of Zombies for every single person, whoever was a fan of Kylie Cantrall, whoever was a fan of Ruby Rose Turner, whoever was a friend of Freya Sky. I really do believe that these stars have some of the brightest futures of all time. And I think never enough good things can be said about stars that have meant so much to our lives. You know, I wouldn't be sitting here if people like Kylie Cantrall didn't mean so much to me. Or you wouldn't be watching this video if someone like Kylie Cantrall didn't mean as much as what she does to you. And for that, I just want to say thank you. Because you made this happen. You made Descendants of Zombies something that started as a whisper into a global phenomenon. And that deserves all the credit in the world, and mad respect coming from me and everybody else who uploads these videos about Descendants of Zombies on YouTube or has guts enough to talk about it like I do every single day of my life. And I know I've seen a lot of criticism for my videos, but I do it because this passion for people like Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky exists within my heart, as I know it exists for each and every one of you. And for that, I just simply want to say thank you. Because when you could have turned away from this YouTube channel, you never did. When you could have turned away from supporting Kylie Cantrall and Freya Sky, you never did. You believed in them just as much as the next person in line, and because of this is why it's a worldwide phenomenon, captivating millions of people. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you have continuously and forever shown to the Descendants of Zombies franchise, because I honestly don't know where I would be without your guys' continuous amount of love and support for this YouTube channel. So, if you have not subscribed to this video, you're probably going to want to do that. You're probably going to want to like the video, and you're probably going to want to ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications for everything happening on this YouTube channel, because I have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes, because I think that never enough love and support can be shown for Kylie Cantrall, can be shown for Malia Baker, and I think that we can really go the distance with Descendants of Zombies conversation. I think that we can upload as many Descendants of Zombies videos as we can while steering the conversation in a more positive direction than ever before. Because I think these stars have seen their fair share of criticism, and criticism, mind you, they don't deserve. They deserve anything but to be criticized. I think every single night they were on that stage, they gave it 110%, and every night coming off of that stage, they should have been tapped on the shoulder and said, great job, great performance tonight, forever and always. Instead of going home and YouTubing themselves and seeing some video that was really pointless to have ever been uploaded, filled with criticism about a performance Kylie Cantrall gave an hour ago. And then Kylie Cantrall is reduced to tears because people don't feel the same way she did about her performance going into it. I think that for every night that Kylie Cantrall opened up that Worlds Collide tour with how dreams can happen for anybody at any given moment, because a dream is that much closer to you than you've ever realized, was undeniably unbelievable. And I think she deserves more credit than ever shown to her than ever before. I think that Kylie Cantrall has always had a love and a passion, and she showed up every single night on the Worlds Collide Tour stage, showcasing that passion for every single person who ever said they believed in her. And I just want to say thank you so much on the behalf of myself and Kylie for making Kylie Cantrall into the superstar that she is and will never be forgotten about for becoming. Thank you guys so much for making this happen for me and making this happen for every single person who ever said they were a fan of Descendants of Zombies. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload this video to my YouTube channel. I don't know how much of a reach this video is going to have. I don't know how many likes or subscribers I will get because of this video. I know a lot of people on YouTube right now are looking up, Worlds Collide Tour videos, what have you. So I'm trying to do some conversation about Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide, along with, shedding the spotlight, sharing it with your favorite stars, Guys, thank you so much. I will have another video just a couple of hours from now. Be sure to join me for that, and like and subscribe to this video, because kindness really does go a long way in this world, and further than many of us probably tend to realize. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you've been outpouring for this YouTube channel and always showing it. I will upload another video for you just a few hours from now. Keep on supporting and loving Kylie Cantrall, Fred Sky, all your favorite cast members of the Worlds Collide Tour, because there will be a leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour yet to be confirmed. I will have more info on that when it becomes available. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. We will talk again in just a few hours from now. Be kind to one another.